I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite
podcast
on the Citadel.
Welcome to Andromenerds, the #1 Mass Effect podcast on the internet.
In the world.
My name is Minius of Minius GC, and with me are my co-hosts, Tucker from Mass Effect Follower.
Hello.
Yeah, okay, someone needs to get him a catchphrase, and he's going to stuck to it. And the one and only BioFan.
I'm tired. Hi. How's it going?
BioFan's tired. My voice is probably going to give out in about 20 minutes.
Can I add some negativity thing with mine too?
Yes, go.
I lost all my Mass Effect footage.
What?
Luckily, it actually really didn't take you that long to redo the whole thing.
Luckily, you didn't play the game in the first place, so...
I mean, you didn't play the game in the first place, Tucker, so you might as well go back and actually, do it this time.
I lost 300 plus gigabytes of footage.
That's all you had?
Yeah.
All right, well, we won't get into the technical stuff. Andromenerds posts every week when we don't fuck up. Mondays, noon Pacific, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, and 8 at night in the UK. If you would like to contribute to this show with a question or topic suggestion, you should email us at andromenerds@gmail.com. And be warned, we might get into spoilers. We have no idea what we're doing. You may have listened to the podcast before. We go all over the place.
You doing all right there?
No, not really.
Do you want to explain why your voice is like that?
Not really. It's
right.
like a massive amount of pollen in the air. So California normally doesn't get rain, and we didn't get rain for 5 years. So we were all going to die. And fortunately, we got lots of rain. But it also means all the plants are taking advantage of that growth, and they're trying to spread their seed all over the place. And now my throat is infected. So that's fun. Yeah. So what do you guys want to talk about?
I think y'all wanted to talk about multiplayer?
So I was going to say, we haven't talked about multiplayer.
Yeah, I have this problem right now where every time I want to play more Mass Effect, because I want to go back and I want to get more footage, and I want to try out other storylines, and every time I turn on the game, I just want to play the multiplayer.
Dude, the multiplayer is
That's all I want to
amazing.
do. I just want to keep on playing the multiplayer.
Well, you can use that for footage.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not good footage.
Yeah, don't be cheap and just use multiplayer footage for everything. Too many people do that.
You want cutscenes and that
Put
kind of stuff.
Put some effort in there,
want.
you know. Gotta polish it up a bit, you know.
But what if the topic is the multiplayer?
Topic with what your visuals
if the topic
on.
is the multiplayer, then it's appropriate.
If the topic is multiplayer, you're golden.
Yeah. So I guess BioFan, you haven't played much. You've played the campaign over and over and over again.
Yeah, I've played the campaign well, okay, it's hard to really put a number on it because we did the preview and then I've played it multiple times and
full
various
playthroughs
playthroughs are at different points. I'm just gonna say 4. Let's just say 4-ish times.
And I mean, a playthrough would be you start the game and then you finish the story.
Yeah, so 4-ish times.
Okay. I don't know where the ish comes from. Tucker played the game half the time. And how much multiplayer have you played so far?
I would say the time that I've spent on the game is split halfway between those two.
Okay, good for you.
I've
good
played
for
about,
you.
I think, 3 hours of multiplayer.
3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But, for me personally, I'm not a big, multiplayer person. It's not what I play games for at all. I enjoyed it, but,
normally that's the case with me, too.
I don't really get much from it. So.
Normally that's the case with me, too, but I like co-op a lot. So this is kind of a co-op thing, and I maintain the gameplay in Mass Effect Andromeda is its best aspect. So you get cool gameplay, although there's... I don't know what you want to discuss exactly. Tucker, who's your favorite character right now?
I cannot remember the name, but it's the Asari that has Backlash, Energy Drain, and Throw.
So I believe that's a Sentinel.
Yes, it's the Asari Sentinel.
Yeah, there's a couple things that I like about the multiplayer, but there's a couple things that I don't like as much. It's very grindy. It's very grindy.
Yeah, especially that bonus thing. I still haven't fully figured that out.
Okay, what's your question on that? I can probably answer it.
Just how do I get points towards that?
So each character that you have that you can pick on your roster, their experience that you gain from a match will go into a particular bonus stat. And once you fill up the bar on a bonus stat, it'll pump up your, like, for instance, let's say health regeneration. You have a character that gets you health regeneration points every time you play with them. You fill up an enormous bar, and then you level up your health regeneration. Eventually, there is a cap to it. I don't know where the cap is, but it appears that it's 1%. Is it 6? Does anyone
no, it's like level 6. You can get it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because that's an achievement.
I don't believe that.
It is to either get all your profiles up to level 6 or to rank 6 or to get a level 6 bonus in multiplayer.
Dude, that's going to take forever. That's going to be like 1,000 hours.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering, like, what do you do? Especially because it feels like...
There are some people that just play games for the multiplayer and then will never not be playing the multiplayer at any given time.
I can see playing the multiplayer for...
They play multiplayer, they go to sleep, they wake up, go do, like, job or school, whatever, come home, play the multiplayer, go back to sleep, repeat 50 million times. There's some people that, like, that's what they enjoy to do.
I think the multiplayer you could take several people many thousands of hours is what it's going to do. But it's probably too grindy because it takes too long to level up characters. There's too many things to do. Again,
here's the exact achievement. It's called High Performance. Unlock rank 6 for each single-player profile type or obtain a level 6 multiplayer bonus stat.
Jeez. Well, that doesn't mean it's necessarily the cap, but you're probably right.
I think it may be the cap, kind of like how rank 6 is the cap.
It would make sense then, but that's a ridiculously high amount. The other thing that's a little rough is you probably noticed that each character has I suppose the term is rank. So you can have, like, you're a sorry sentinel that you're in love with, probably like rank 3 or 4. Did you notice that? It's got the Roman numerals next to it.
Yeah, and the way that it levels up is by getting card packs, and by leveling it up, it changes the way you can make it look.
No, it also adds points that you can spend on abilities.
Oh, well, yeah, that too.
Which is ridiculous, because some of those are really hard to get, and you need to get 10 of them in order to max out the character, which is unfortunate for the fun characters. Like, you got to get super lucky 10 times to maximally use your character's abilities. That's too much. That's ridiculous. That's really my only complaint is the grindiness in that. So there's the grind to, level up your characters from 1 to 20, which takes too long, and then you got to level up. You got to buy a bunch of packs to get those to rank 10. Those characters are rank 10, and that takes a ridiculously long amount of time. And I think in the original Mass Effect game, you could level up a character from 0 or I guess 1 to 20 in a couple hours.
You mean Mass Effect 3?
Mass Effect 3's multiplayer, yeah. You could do it in a couple hours.
Original Mass Effect, I was like...
Original Mass Effect
what?
multiplayer. Original Mass Effect I bet that would be fun. The Mass Effect multiplayer from Mass Effect 3, you could do it in a couple hours. 4? I don't know. It depends on how many friends you have, really. If you have friends that are willing to push you through the heavy experience matches, you can go faster. But this one takes forever. Forever. It's too long. Anyway.
So I just came up with a curious question for you guys.
Go for it.
Sure.
Given Mass Effect Andromeda's reception and launch and whatnot, do you think it's more or less likely that we'll get a Mass Effect trilogy remastered?
I don't think that's going to happen anyways. Didn't they say that is not happening?
So what happened was there's confusion in sources and dates and things. It still was on the table last time it was spoken about.
I think there is a division inside EA, right? They don't know what to do. They don't have a uniform policy on it because, someone will be asked and they'll say, no way. And then someone else will be asked and maybe.
What happened was that someone who's, I guess, not the head, but right below the head of EA was yeah, it's, on the table. We're talking about it. Not for sure, but it's in discussion. And then the person directly below them was I can't really say anything. It's not happening.
Someone definitely said no.
But yeah, that was the third, that was the person
third on
who
the
was
food chain?
not, third on the totem pole, but the person who's 2 on the totem pole was it's in discussion. So,
here's a
maybe
question.
Number 3 on the totem pole wasn't supposed to say anything, but they asked him about it. So he said what he could say, which was nothing.
I think that'd be fun. I would really hate it if main BioWare studio people worked on it.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have them do something
I'd
new.
rather they, like...
You can port it to another studio and have them do that, and it'll be great.
Because all the story's still there. All the voice acting's still there. It's just, like, the visuals that you have to do.
And I feel like the reason why EA would want to do that is because I'm pretty sure there's going to be another Mass Effect game, but they're not... I mean, they're going to have to say, look at the revenue that we got from Mass Effect Andromeda. It's like that, and then with the trilogy remaster, they could be like, oh, and look at all this extra that we got from it that we can put towards that. That they're going to try to sell the trilogy as a way to get money to make the sequel with Andromeda.
Maybe?
I don't know if that's how that works.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that complicated.
Because I think it's that, like... any EA title financial success helps support the other EA title financial successes. Is that correct? I think that's more in line.
Yeah,
with it, but I don't know.
But I mean, it could be that they could want to test the viability of the franchise with something other than Andromeda, and that would be a way to do that. You say, okay, how many people are still interested in Mass Effect? And you put out the Mass Effect trilogy remastered and get a gauge on how many people really want to do that.
I think that would sell really well, but.
It might. I don't know how remasters sell. I know they take a significantly less effort to do a real game, like a full one.
So it's lower budget, so maybe your like net profit is bigger.
I'm trying to think of remasters. I know that the Master Chief Collection sold a shit ton.
The Master Chief Collection? What is that?
You like Halo? What?
Right. That was the Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4 all on Xbox One.
That's a cool collection because it has many games.
Yeah, that was actually...
Didn't that redo some of the controls, too, from the original games?
It made it so you can have the same control scheme over all 4 games.
Yeah, so that's cool. Because that's like older console shooters.
There's the BioShock remaster. I think that did well. The Assassin's Creed Ezio trilogy. Trying to think of other...
The Last of Us was remastered.
That one did really well because a lot of people didn't have PS3 and they bought a PS4.
Yeah.
So then they had to get it that way.
What were some... does Rare Replay count?
No, because they didn't really do anything new to it. It's just like, here you can now play the same thing that we gave you, but now you can play it on like Xbox One.
Yeah, but also Rare Replay was like a few hundred games, I think.
Yeah, it was like ton of games.
It was 40 games, but still.
Yeah. I was like, this is definitely worth the $60. Like, imagine if you tried to buy all those games individually. It'd be insane. I'm looking at a list of remastered video games, and I think we've covered the main ones.
Yeah, I don't think you can recall calling that to really pump up sales. And even if it did, I don't know if you wouldn't just pocket that.
Well, I mean, like... going to the first one I said, the Master Chief Collection, the reason that sold so well is the fact that the only way you could play Halo 2 was on the original Xbox. All the Mass Effect trilogy games are on the 360, which a decent amount of people, and myself included, still has. So it's kind of hard to sell that.
Do you think maybe like... Because I was going to say like Scorpio's going to come out not too long from now. But you can still play all Xbox One games on it.
That's basically a very powerful Xbox One. It's going
just
to run
like
all Xbox
what
One
Xbox
games.
One should have been.
That's going to be interesting to see how consoles move on, but that's a completely different discussion. So I've been digging on sales numbers for Mass Effect Andromeda.
What'd you find?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely
they haven't done
nothing.
anything on it.
Yeah, that's not good.
What I've seen personally
really
is
not
you see
good.
a lot of places giving now discounts on it. So I think what they're doing is that they're switching from like total revenue made to like units sold and trying to have a better units sold number to kind of give to their whatchamacallums investors.
Sponsors?
Investors,
yeah.
Yeah. As far as I can tell, EA stock has gone sideways, so it's had no effect. That's like the only thing I knew to check to see what might happen. So,
Well, the thing is, if you're checking EA stock, EA also has so many other things.
I don't know what else to check, man.
But it was meant to be like the heavy hitter of the quarter.
I mean, you would think that if a BioWare game, if BioWare starts to lose clout, that EA would dip a little bit. But I mean, like, obviously, it's a small part of it. Here's a good question, and this can kind of go into a discussion. What would you want BioWare to do next with their new IP? Do you want it to be like something brand new? Or do you want them to go...
I want it to be something that they have not touched yet. I don't want it to be Star Wars or any of that stuff. I want it to be something they have not touched yet.
I want it to be a fiction genre they've not touched yet, but I want it to still very much be a BioWare game.
What would that be? Like normal people?
So they have like medieval and they have like space covered.
Okay.
So like
just
other than medieval
generic
and space.
life?
There's other genres. There's
want it to be like a superhero like universe?
That's actually a popular theory that it's a superhero game.
That would be bizarre. I don't know.
Like,
I mean,
think of like you get to play as a protagonist and you have these superpowers and you get to use the character creator. And
there's been some really good games that have done that.
So
So that's a little, although not with the character creator and
stuff.
Though
I am a little concerned, but also kind of skeptical towards the media about the reportings of it being like not fully an RPG and being more of like an action-y game.
That was straight out of the mouth of the CFO or the CEO?
Yeah, but then
hold on,
I only found like one or two articles that actually quoted the CFO. The rest were all like, "Oh, it's an action game," says us. So
BioFan, what is your definition of an RPG?
Like the focus of the game is the story.
Okay.
That's like my basic bottom line RPG.
Tucker, what is your definition of an RPG?
A game where you basically are role-playing, that you are being responsible for what this person does, that it's not set out.
Okay, so basically, I don't know, you guys are Xbox guys. I can't use that as an example. So basically, according to both you guys, Uncharted is a role-playing game, which is not true.
No, well, you're not responsible for his actions. You aren't making the decisions in that game.
Like, there has to be for me, like...
A role-playing game to me is you can choose how your character goes about. That your character is an up-close person or your character is a ranged person.
Yeah, there has to be some deviation, like not just strict one path kind of thing.
Okay, my definition of an RPG is statistical and base, which means you level up stuff and increase your stats based on experience. That is my definition of an RPG.
Well, would you consider Call of Duty then to be one? Because that's
Would you consider the Pokemon games to be an RPG then, Minius?
Almost all games now have RPG elements, but a traditional RPG is based exclusively around leveling up and stuff. And my point is that the three of us do not agree on what an RPG is. So what the hell is an RPG? What is it?
BioWare.
I don't know what it is anymore.
I mean, I would consider the Telltale games to be to kind of be like an RPG. Because
yeah, I would consider the Telltale games to be an RPG.
You're playing the role of the character.
I would 100% disagree with that, because
I would consider it to be like diet RPG, like RPG light.
So I looked up various definitions, and most of them are based around those statistical things, because a lot of the old school RPGs from way back there was a story to them, but there was no branching stuff. And it was all about leveling up.
Does that even apply anymore?
Yeah.
Because, like, if most games have RPG elements...
Absolutely, because the older games are based... Do you know where RPG comes from? Those, like, role-playing game tabletop games, which are based around statistical stuff. So that's where that comes from. Dungeons and Dragons. That's the origins of the RPG, are directly in that. So, theoretically, if you were to extrapolate role-playing game... and you can say that's a huge definition. You play a role in a game. That could be anything, man.
That's
really
like literally every game, except for maybe like Pong.
Pong, where you play the role of the paddle, I guess. But my point is that when someone says this is not an RPG, I don't know what they mean. I don't know anymore. I don't think there is a universally accepted definition of an RPG.
like my ideal definition, not my like bottom line definition, is that like you have a character that you like can customize the character and you can make different dialogue choices and you can make decisions.
Well, it's
in the
definitely not
story.
dialogue choices for RPGs because, I mean, there's a ton of RPGs without those. That's very specific to.
That's my ideal RPG definition,
Okay.
not my bottom line, if that makes sense.
Because, I mean, would you consider the Final Fantasy series to be an RPG? And if the answer is no, then you are wrong.
I would consider it again in that like diet RPG
No,
category.
no.
The
No,
RPG
no, the greatest RPGs of all time are not diet RPGs, BioFan. Holy crap.
I'm
Oh,
just spoiled on
my.
this company called BioWare
Oh,
that makes like the
oh,
best RPGs
man.
ever, you know?
So
So-
this actually, I'm glad to hear you say that. Really, I'm like my reaction. That's my genuine reaction. Like I'm not particularly fond of Final Fantasy games, but those are premier RPGs. I mean, that's what an RPG is.
That really is what an RPG is. I mean,
I mean, like, it
like
is
it.
role-playing, but it's, like, not, like...
that's what an RPG is. Role
Yeah,
playing.
but it's not, like, the BioWare level or, like, the
But BioWare
Bethesda
didn't
level
define it.
or, like,
But
you
yeah,
know...
BioWare it's like there's BioWare's its own status of game, really. I mean,
It
there are
kind of
other-
almost is at this point its own, like, category of
There
game.
are actually, I mean, there are other companies that are starting to do that, and some that are doing it. I mean, I hate to keep on going back to The Witcher, but
Like, CD Projekt Red and Bethesda kind of started to do it.
well, Bethesda depends on the game. But I mean,
Did
a
you-
lot of people picked
Fallout
up on
4.
stuff like that.
Did you know that BioWare worked on Witcher? Did you know that BioWare worked on Witcher?
What did they do?
I don't,
I don't-
think
I-
you're getting the correct information.
I don't know exactly, but on the original
outsourced something?
Witcher game,
Oh, the original.
BioWare is on there.
Okay, the original one. Don't worry about it. You sidetracked
Okay.
us entirely. So an
I
RPG,
think Tucker might
we
be
don't know
wrong.
what an RPG
also,
is.
a lot of people were calling you out, Tucker, about how you said the original, like when Mass Effect 1 was made, there wasn't the trilogy in mind. There was the trilogy.
Yeah, I thought there
Yeah,
was.
I know. I done goofed on that one.
Speaking of calling Tucker out, Tucker, did you finish up the game finally, Mass Effect Andromeda?
I've been done with it for a few weeks.
No,
No,
you
you
haven't.
have
no,
not,
we
sir.
discussed this on the show last week. You were not done yet. So, did you finish?
Boop. There you go. Put it in chat.
Okay, who cares about that? Did you play Kadara yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you think of Kadara?
It was very sandy. Not sandy. Thinking of Element.
Mountainous?
I don't know.
So you don't remember it?
No, I do. It's just there didn't really stand
What did you
out.
think of the story of Kadara?
The Kadara one?
Yeah.
Predictable? No.
I don't
mean-
think he actually really played it.
Yeah, you didn't. You didn't actually play it.
No,
Name
I did.
name a couple characters on Kadara.
Reyes, Sloan.
Okay.
There's that Turian guy who gets angry if you tell Sloan about
So you,
Whatever
you
he
saw
had.
the charlatan twist coming immediately,
what, with Reyes being a shady dude?
being the shady dude.
Don't give it
Yes.
away. We're trying to prove you didn't play it. But now you
You knew he was a
didn't-
shady dude as soon as he is
but
introduced.
the shady dude? I don't believe you.
I don't believe you either. I think you were privileged to information prior to actually playing the Kadara storyline, which then spoiled the Kadara storyline for you.
Did you look it up? Like you look up for whatever. You have your writers do it for you.
No, it's just
I
just
believe
obvious.
you had your writers do it for you.
Oh, speaking of his writers, we need to get Secret Cat on as a guest spot. Me and her have been talking, and she wants
Oh,
to
yeah.
come on as a
Okay,
guest.
absolutely.
Definitely.
So
Because I need
Uh,
someone
figure it
else
out.
that understands Reyes. I need someone else besides just me.
related to that, we asked a poll, and I am now going to admit that I made a big mistake with this poll. BioFan wanted to add the fact that Tucker didn't play Kadara on it, and I was like, no, let's just let it go. And the results of this poll were pretty positive.
I think if people had known
Yeah.
what he
That's
had
awesome.
done,
I
it
think
would have been totally different.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I
and
still
think
don't believe that he's actually
I
done
didn't
it.
want to like skew the poll like that because, you know, I like people to have their opinions, but most of the people take the poll before they listen to the show because
Well,
we have no
Yeah.
coordination.
Oh, I mean, the poll goes out while we're recording the podcast. So
Yeah, which whenever. So this one is Tucker should A, jump in a lake, B, promoted, C, light himself on fire, and I should say B, be promoted, or D, dance. And dance has about 42%. Be promoted from what? from the extra. You know, do you ever put him as dancer in your credits?
I always put him
always
as dancer.
Put him as dancer
Every
Okay.
single time.
I want to know.
I don't know if people notice it or not. If you haven't noticed it, go down into like the description of all of me and Minius's episodes and look at what we set our roles as.
I mix
think
it up
you will
for
appreciate
Tucker.
It.
I started mixing.
I
it
always
up.
put him as dancer.
Yeah, dancer. So there's that. 19% of people wanted you to light yourself on fire.
that's
And
amazing.
18% wanted you to jump in a lake, which might be good after lighting yourself on fire.
Yeah, some people were saying do all four.
Wow.
Well, I mean, when you light yourself on fire, you then do a form of a dance, and then you jump in a lake.
And if you do all that crazy thing, I'll promote
I don't know
you.
where the promotion comes in, but he's got 3 out of 4 already there. So,
I don't want to encourage that
Ta-da.
behavior.
I got it. Okay, so he gets promoted. He has a party to celebrate said promotion at a lake, at which he lights himself on fire on accident, dances when he is on fire, and then jumps in the lake. Boom, done. Conclusion.
That sounds like one hell of an effort for a poll. That's like the most effort that's
sounds like
ever
way
gone
too
into one
much
of these
effort.
polls.
So
But
we
need
I
a
have
poll.
a poll idea.
You got a poll idea? Go.
We could do like, which AI do you prefer, Edie, or who would win in a fight, Edie or Sam?
I love her. How many of those who would win in a fight ones have we had? They're all
Like
great.
5.
Now wait.
Should we do
But
it?
Sam doesn't have a body.
So
That's the thing.
who
So,
says you can't fight if you don't have a
At one point,
body?
Edie didn't have a body.
They like have crazy hacking.
Should I
attacks.
specify that it's Mass Effect 2 Edie and make it fair?
Well, what is Edie gonna like? You like go punch the mainframe? Is that the idea?
Well, yeah.
I mean, what like? Wouldn't
The thing,
you?
if she has a body, she can be mobile and she can go and
But-
like destroy him.
But you would remotely hack her. That would be the entire point.
Not if she's able to like counter it while it's going. All she has to do is hold
that's part
him
of the
off.
fight.
She doesn't have to do. She doesn't have to do anything to him. All she has to do is be defensive while going to him.
But isn't like Sam part of Ryder?
He's also independent of Ryder, but he's
But-
also a
but,
part
like,
of Ryder.
so, like,
he can't
Ryder
go
would-
anywhere
Ryder would
that
be
he
there
isn't already
to-
in. It's just like Ryder is his like mobile platform, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah,
Ryder's
but-
his mobile platform, if that makes sense.
It's not like he's in his left arm.
Like,
Although,
he's
more
with Ryder,
spoilers,
but
Sam
he's
kinda got his
also,
ass
like,
kicked.
on Hyperion and on the Tempest, but like Ryder's like the mobile platform where he sees more stuff with, you know.
So we can do this poll. I think Edie is gonna drop kick Sam all over the place.
Edie would win.
Yeah, I
I
don't think
know,
it's
but
gonna
I
be
still want to
close.
see like how much does Edie win by, if that makes sense. You know,
Can we think of a better one, or is that not
if we can't think of a better one, then I'm down to do this one. If we can't think of a better one,
Okay, we got less than a minute to think of a better one.
Oh, hey, I want to bring up something Mass Effect related.
Tucker, we're on something.
I thought the topic changed.
No,
Oh.
the topic did not change. I said let's think of a better one.
Yeah, I thought that meant like
So-
later. Let me talk-
We're
No,
going
I
with
said we
this
have a less
poll.
than a minute to think of a better one,
we've already
and you've
spent
already
that.
burned this minute. Silence. All right, your poll
All right,
idea
we're doing
wins.
it.
Okay.
Weekly Andromenerds poll: who would win in a fight? Edie, Sam. Cool.
They're both all capitalized, aren't they?
Yes. Poll has been tweeted.
Now my favorite part of the show, reacting to this. This might be a raffle stomp. You familiar with the term raffle stomp, or is that too old? Oh, someone voted for Sam. Who voted for Sam? Was that one of you?
No,
Now
I voted Edie.
for Edie.
Damn, someone voted for Sam already. Unexpected.
Someone must have misclicked.
Someone must have misclicked.
That happens actually fairly often. Some people misclick. So
And there's no going back on Twitter, is there? I mean,
No.
you
Not
can-
Twitter. Twitter is final with their votes.
it is done.
All right, Tucker, you wanted to sidetrack us. You have an
we
opportunity
could have
to do
had a
that.
third option.
Yeah, I was
Adam
gonna ask
Wigley
about
said
that.
Avena. Obviously, I was like, damn it, but she's not AI. She's
Avena?
VI. She's VI.
Avena's
She's
not
AI.
winning anything. Avena doesn't win a personality contest
Jacob.
or there's nothing. Holy shit, this
Jacob
poll
on
is
there.
close, guys.
No, it's not. It's
Yeah,
bullshit.
it is. Look at the poll.
Yeah, I know. That's bullshit.
I don't get it. We're all right.
That is surprisingly close. Okay.
That's incredibly close.
I was not expecting this.
I mean, basically, I expected this to turn into a Cortana. You're a douche. All right, sidetrack us. What were you going to sidetrack us with? Did you already forget?
Oh, for our fans, if you haven't heard of Rooster Teeth, they have a thing called Immersion where they do video game stuff in real life, and they did a recent episode about Mass Effect where they basically did real life of the abilities. It's kind of interesting.
Andrew Bone asked, "Wait, do you like Halo, Tucker?" All right, do we want to jump to questions?
Let's do it.
Hey, is there anything I should know?
There are new messages at your private terminal.
Oh, hey, someone actually sent an email saying, "Are we going to switch trainer to Sam?"
No,
All right.
unless we
Well-
can get the voice actors on.
Because
It's-
Sam's the one that tell you about the email.
I could start mixing it up.
Or you can
Yeah.
do Suvi.
Yeah, we might could do Suvi. We could get
Well-
Katie on.
We could just mix it up.
Okay.
But for the moment, no.
You could just play the audio clip of Sam telling you have a new email.
That's normally what I used to do. And
It is currently 63% Edie, 73 or 37%.
I expected it
Sam.
to be so much higher.
I'm kind of surprised. I guess that people like Sam more than I do.
I mean, the
So-
Quarians.
Dominated
that poll.
Yeah. I think if you put Quarians on any poll right now, given people's genuine thirst for the Quarians right now, like even if it's like, which race would you like to see explode in a hellfire? Like people just see Quarians and vote.
Someone would be asking, "Where's Jacob?"
Okay, questions.
All right, so Blair Stone asks, "What was your favorite side mission in Andromeda and why?"
What is a side mission? Pretty much the entire game, right?
Nothing.
I
Well,
would say nothing from allies and relationships, and nothing
really?
from the main
Even though
story.
even though that's way a side mission, and you do not need to do it at all.
like I consider there to be crit path, and then like crit path adjacent, and then everything else is side.
But
And then like there's a deeper category of like super side, if you know what I mean.
I would say movie night.
Can I second that? Can I also say movie night? Because that's like the best.
I'm going
Or do we
robot
need to-
dinosaur fight, the first one.
There's a robot dinosaur fight?
Yeah,
With the architect?
yeah, the architect.
Oh, that.
The one when it just pops out of nowhere, you're like, what the hell?
Dude, the first time seeing the architect
Yeah.
was pretty awesome. And I got to interview Andrew Rubino, who he was the guy that like fully worked on the architect, worked on every aspect of it. There's some pretty cool stuff about that.
I would have liked more kinds of fights, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, like the first time was pretty cool, but then after that it was kind of the same thing. Same cool thing, but like same thing.
No, I'm still going with that.
Okay.
Some people are asking if it's Mass Effect 3 Edie.
They have to figure it out on their own.
That is an answer they have to find in their heart.
Yeah.
I will supply an alternate. Getting Kesh when Vorn wants you to bring Kesh the flower. That'll be my alternate favorite. That one was cute. I liked that one. Next question.
All right. Ian Porro asks, "Can you guys tell the difference between a male and female Solarian? Not counting voice."
About. Oh, if you take away the voice, no, you have no shot.
They're
You have no
completely
shot.
Yeah,
identical.
it's kind of difficult. I mean, it does look
They're
slightly.
completely identical.
The face looks slightly different, but I think that's because I can hear it's a female voice. Okay, I can see that.
I think
there's
you're
some
like in
slight
your
differences.
head making the face more feminine. I think that if you were to mute the game, never having met the Solarians before, you can't tell. It's the same model.
Dude, there are people that are upset that with Director Tan that his assistant is a female.
How dare he hire females?
Well, because they're saying that like
They're not capable of stuff.
In the Solarian lore, that the females are the higher up ones that males aren't. But
they
it's
ignored Solarian. They ignored a lot of lore. So.
Well, that and also it's kind of a special circumstance in that like their society isn't really formed yet in Andromeda. Like
I just think that
they all kind of have to pitch in different areas.
Now,
so
that would be a fair criticism, I think, because they're ignoring lore. If you are upset about that, you're going to be upset about a number of things in Andromeda.
I just think that like people being upset about that is just kind of stupid.
I mean, like I noticed it and I was kind of like, oh, but I wasn't like super butthurt over it. I was like, okay, whatever.
There is a multiplayer character in this game. I can't tell if it's male or female.
Who, the infiltrator one?
No, the infiltrator's a dude. I'm pretty sure. The I'm trying to think. It's not the architect. It's the N7 quality one with.
Oh, the one they just released.
No, they just released the architect, right?
Yeah, the one that has the Remnant VI.
No, I'm not talking about the architect. I'm talking about the one with invasion, why I play that character a lot, and now I can't remember which one it is. What a disaster.
I wish that the multiplayer characters kind of had some banter.
They do have a little bit, don't they?
I
Not
like
quite Inquisition level banter then.
I love the voice acting in the multiplayer is because some of it's just hilarious. Especially when it bugs out and your character says things that don't make sense. All right, what else do we have?
Alrighty. Jay Thomas asks, there's a theory going around that Reyes was the one that killed Jean Garson. What are your thoughts? I think
that shady bastard. But I don't think it was him.
I don't think it's impossible, but
I think it could be him, but I also think it could be a billion other people.
I don't think it's him at all.
Like, I think it's possible, I just don't think it's probable.
I'm still not sure you've even seen him.
Like, I don't think you even know who Reyes is.
Yeah,
well, actually, I think he has met Reyes because he knows
how
about...
I shot him, I think I do know.
Question.
I still don't believe you.
Did you shoot him because of BioFan's love for him?
No, I shot him because he's just someone who was using you.
Okay.
I think that
curious,
Tucker's experience was very much clouded by the fact that we berated him so much, and he didn't get to have an open and new experience with the Kadara storyline.
No,
so...
I even with that, I'm pretty confident I would have protected Sloane.
Why? What does she provide?
You do, you
Sloane, even though like you think that she's an ass and everything like that, she can lead that group. Reyes, I don't think he would be strong enough, like mentally and everything like that, to actually lead that. He would have gotten squashed.
He leads the group pretty darn well. He has Kadara in a better situation than Sloane does. If you leave Sloane there, people are still getting beat up on the street and stuff. Versus if Reyes is still there, then everything's kind of functioning okay.
And everything's functioning.
He leads from behind the shadows. He's like the shadow broker. He's like Liara. But, Sloane's like.
Or how about with
corrupt.
Omega?
I still don't get why you can't take over. You're just like, you guys are mine now. And now you're back. Like,
you just kill both of them and you're like, nothing happened.
Yeah, you're like, guess what? By the way, I was thinking of the Solarian operator. Cannot tell if she's male or female.
But how about like with Omega? That place Kadara reminded me a lot of Omega.
I think that Sloane is nothing like Arya. I think Arya is way smarter than Sloane is.
Yeah. Also, I think if we were going to do the who would win in a fight, Sloane would not do well.
Oh no, Arya would beat Sloane,
Yeah.
definitely. But I just feel like it's the same kind of thing, that it looks like it's bad, but she is in control.
I mean, it's not. There's no, technically bad decision there, but there's a better outcome for the people of Kadara, and that's definitely Reyes.
And I also feel like if you read the book, then you definitely know that Sloane, she's not just an ass. She has a reason not to trust
she goes
you.
through a transformation.
Yeah, let's be fair.
Between the time of the book ending and the time of Kadara.
She becomes an ass. So at the point in the game, she is an ass. Doesn't mean she wasn't always an ass, but I mean,
we're all born as babies, and babies aren't immediately assholes. Usually.
Well, that's the nature or nurture argument.
Sloane is an asshole now. End of story.
I still feel like Sloane is the best person to run Kadara, but that she is a better choice than Ray is.
I wish this was a poll now. All right, well, coming back to this.
Do you want to do a second one?
No.
Okay.
We need to start cataloging these. I will write this one down.
Okay, next time we'll do Sloane versus Reyes. Who's a better leader of Kadara? Okay.
And we'll leave Jacob out of it because Jacob might win.
Can we put the Koreans on there?
No.
Jacob, the good Koreans would I win.
No, that's what the poll should be. Who could lead Kadara better, Jacob or Koreans?
Here's a good question. How many Koreans are on the Korean arc, do you think?
Well, so there's 20,000 people.
Yeah.
And then if you divide that,
that's
I
like
assume
a huge
not
chunk
evenly.
of their population, though.
Well, I think that the Koreans, it's the Korean arc because they're the ones that are controlling it. I don't think they're going to be
and they're the ones that have the
majority
Pathfinder that represents all of those races, too, which is kind of odd.
Well, look at who the other races are. Let's be fair. The Volus.
Oh, well, hey, you don't want to hand on
Didn't
Pathfinder?
they only mention 2? They said Hanar, Drell, and other races is what they said.
It's Hanar, Drell, Volus,
and Elcor.
And Elcor.
Did they
Let's be honest. Out of all of
and
those,
Corian. So there's 5 races. So there's 20,000 people made up of 5 races. I assume that's not divvied up evenly.
It's not 4,000 per race.
Yeah.
But I mean, think about it with that is.
So there's probably let's say like at minimum 4,000 Koreans, but probably a whole lot more. Probably
not even
somewhere between 4,000 to 10,000 Koreans is what I would say.
I think they're going to completely ignore that and do what they want.
I think there's going to be about 1,000 Koreans. But it's still the Korean arc because they are the engineers. They can run that shit, which is why it's still a Korean Pathfinder. But I think the majority are going to be Volus, Elcor, and Hanar.
So there's one thing that I would like to point out. No matter what point in the game that you're at, there is always one side of that Rubik's Cube in the middle of the Nexus that is open and ready for an arc to land. Just saying.
I noticed that. That's weird, though. Okay.
Well, I mean...
Endgame, there's 2.
Do they ever get the Turian arc up and running, or is that thing scrapped?
No, it's done.
And gone?
It's wreckage. They go back to get all the pods from it, but otherwise it's wreckage. Like, there's nothing you can do with it.
I mean, you do that mission to get the Turian Pathfinder, but that thing's destroyed, so it makes sense that they never had an arc.
Okay,
so there's always at least one space open, and then at the end game, there's 2 arcs there. So then they have 2 slots open.
Yeah,
but I
the
doubt
human
there's
arc
going to
is
be
on Meridian.
Yeah.
All right, I have something I want to share, and I put it in the chat.
Sure.
I'll go look. Oh, I saw that. It's awesome. It's the best. Oh,
yeah, it's so much fun. Thank you to the Witch of the Wilds for making that up.
She makes the best
by
Photoshops.
request of Tom Taylorson, interestingly enough.
Interestingly enough. Thank you.
All right, what else do we have question-wise?
All right, Hector Ortega, which this kind of goes into the previous question we had about a remaster. If hypothetically the trilogy gets remastered, what would you want the Andromeda combat system in it, or the original cover system, or a mixture of both?
I would want to go for the nostalgia original.
I mean, it would have to be.
Like, I want Mass Effect 3.
It wouldn't have to be, but system. Man, it would take them forever to do that game then.
Like, I would want Mass Effect 3's combat system for the nostalgia, but...
I think you keep the combat system for each of them, just because that makes it doable.
I would want the original cover system, except for climbing over things. I want that. I don't have to get into cover to climb over it. I want to just be able to go up to it and climb over it. Because that was one of the most annoying things.
You don't get into cover behind every object you climb over?
No.
Because I swear I saw you doing that when we were in California the other day.
The other day? What?
Yeah, don't worry about it. How many more do we? Man, my voice is starting to go down.
Well, that was the last question.
That's
Your
good.
voice is going down. My computer is at 10%.
What? 10%?
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
boy.
not plugged in while doing this?
Nah, it's effort.
So I think Edie's going to win, but only by a 2-1 margin. So
Which
I was
is
expecting
really-
more.
Yeah, I was expecting, like, Edie to drop kick Sam and then, like, take him out to the trash.
All right, so this episode's a little bit shorter. We're going to talk about future Andromeda games and the new IP. EA Play is coming up, which is the EA branch of E3. Theoretically,
Well, that's not for a few months.
That's not for a few months, but we have things to talk about.
That's like
is the
a
point.
month and a half away.
That's in late June.
So,
May is like.
are we not
almost
allowed
here,
to
Tucker.
speculate on stuff that comes out later?
Well, we can, but you said it's coming soon.
It is coming
That is
soon.
pretty soon. It's almost May. By the time this comes out, it's basically May.
It's less than 2 months away. Is
What
that
date
not
is
soon?
it? Like the 13th of June? Hold on. I will give you an exact.
Is that not soon, Tucker?
I would say no. If it's 2 months away.
You are too young, dude.
That is like you have a lot of free time, Tucker.
I'm watching
I mean,
a GIF.
things
of
that come out
someone-
this year are coming soon, in my opinion.
How many days until June 10th?
Is it June 10th?
Until then.
I thought
It's
it was June
50
like 20th.
days until then.
It's definitely
50
not
days.
June 20. 50 days.
50 days from
I'm
when we
watching a-
recorded this. So like 40-something days when this comes out.
So soon.
I'm watching a GIF of someone who they made their character look like Addison, and they're having a conversation with Addison.
Okay.
Tucker, you are also in college. Better yet, now you're at the master's level. Where is this free time that you possess, and where does it come from?
Not just that, but I'm in accelerated school as well. My master's is
like-
12 months.
Are you performing blood magic to do your homework or something? Like, what's up?
Well, my homework is video games. I can literally sit down and play like BioShock Infinite, and that counts as homework for me. Because I'm studying and like learning stuff.
Yeah, I'm jealous of Tucker's free time because I never have any free time anymore.
Well, look, I've had homework assignments that is play a game and write about it. So I can play a video game and write about it.
Cool. Other stuff, videos that you've done.
I put out 2 videos at the same time. That is what Mass Effect Andromeda did right and what Mass Effect Andromeda did wrong.
Ooh.
Hopefully, if I get those done. They should probably be up by Saturday or Sunday.
BioFan, have you done your video on being a student yet?
I'm going to try and put something out this weekend. It's been hard. School's been rough. It's going to happen. Just, it's coming. It's going. Things are happening. It's good stuff.
All right,
Making
look,
the grades.
in the next week, a couple days after this, I'm going to have 2 videos on the future of the Mass Effect franchise, one talking about DLC, and another talking about potential sequels or what direction they should go in. And I don't know if my voice is going to make it.
Can I give like one final short question?
Yes.
Okay. Yay or nay, should they continue doing open worlds in BioWare games?
No.
Should they do what?
Open world and BioWare games in the future. Yay
No.
or nay?
You mean
No.
like what they did with Andromeda?
And Dragon Age.
Inquisition.
Well, you didn't play Inquisition.
Yeah,
so.
but you didn't play Inquisition, so yeah, Andromeda.
No.
How
How many times do I have to say no?
I would
I'm gonna
say
say no.
yes if they can actually populate it correctly.
But no.
So no.
No, the pacing is all wrong.
Well, Tucker probably hasn't played most of the game, so he doesn't know what the pacing's like.
Tucker. All right. I need to take us out. Am I going to be able to take us out?
Like to dinner or?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't have I'm unprepared.
I think that's my favorite joke that Tucker has ever made on this podcast. Let this be known.
That's all the nerd news we've got for today. Remember that every time you like and share this video, Tucker does something stupid. If you have any questions for us, Mass Effect related or otherwise, feel free to email us at andromenerds@gmail.com, and your questions may be featured in an upcoming episode. I'm not going to make it, guys. Along with our co-host, be sure to follow Andromenerds on Twitter. If you like this podcast and would like to see some more awesome videos, be sure to check out and subscribe to our respective channels. What a disaster.